pushing the envelope of horror and psychological stuff, and it was like all tightly kind of contained within this action movie as well. You know, like the first Terminator, where it's kind of horror meets action, which I really liked. And then they've done all these kind of sequels trying to expand the universe, but I'm ready to see it be put to rest. So that's exciting for me.
Well, yeah, the Purge, you know, even I like the first one, but I definitely like the second one too, because, you know, it just went a little bit more.
Anarchy was cool because you get to really go out. You see these characters acting instead of inside a house. You see them out in the world
for sure
during the night of the Purge, you know. And it was kind of
you get it. You know, I was like, I get what's going on. Yeah, you know, a lot of, you know, America feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's definitely talking your subconscious. You're definitely talking about, like, dude, I wouldn't really care if that dude didn't show up again today or tomorrow or the next day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or I would love to put hands on that person. You know, I get it. You know,
because at the end of the day, I feel like that's what horror is or contemporary horror is there. Well, good horror is they're always kind of have these undertones of what's going on in America at that time.
Yeah.
And now I feel like Purge is kind of speaking on the era of Trump. You know what I mean? And how we've kind of gone into extreme waters a little bit, you know, not to get political.
Right. I feel you right there. You know what I mean? Man, I try not to get too political, dude, because I look at it like this. You know, I've been in the working force since my early 20s, right out of high school, man.
Mm-hmm.
And really, these politicians and their ideas and cutting money hasn't really affected me. But I think, honestly, it's really, the Purge is like that, brother. You know, the Purge is definitely like that. Getting rid of, you know, you have like a get out of jail free card.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So yeah, I feel it, dude. Well, yeah, you're right. I feel you. It's time to, you know, that story's dead, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got. They're trying to make a story out of it. A story like, dude, what? What are you going to do different, bro? You're going after this dude? You're going after my dude here? Because what?
It's just, it's turned into Saw, where Saw became about the kills, you know, rather than story and expanding and having a really good story. It was like, oh, how can we kill this person in a really cool way? You know what I mean? And that's what the Purge is like, what crazy shit are we going to see next in this Purge?
It's just Hollywood trying to milk it.
And people that's the thing, is people keep going to watch them, and they're
maybe right there, brother. That just tell you where society's at right now.
It's a lucrative thing.
It's crazy. It's exactly. You got to be on the D then, man. You know, even in entertainment.
Yep.
Even in entertainment, man, you got to be on the D, because who's watching these films, man? Who's making these films and these episodes popular? Are the viewers.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely got, you know, you got to be conscious about, you know, basically where we live is America, how they feel, how they think, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and you might think twice on who you talk to and who you talk to wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, you know, an educational thing. You know, yeah, it's entertainment, but, you know, you got a lot of dudes out there that have mimicked Hollywood to pull off a crime.
Yeah.
So, you know, you definitely, you know, you had these young kids back in the days, they mimicked Point Break.
Mm-hmm.
They went in there as the mask of the presidents. They pulled off a bank job. The bank was just like at a whoa, like at a wow, like, what the hell just happened right now? And the only reason they got popped is because they bragged about it.
Uh-huh.
They were telling their schoolmates that, guess what? You know, we did this, we did that, and then that kid told his dad, thinking it was cool,
mm-hmm.
and his dad was like, "What?" You know, and he called the cops, and then, you know,
and they got pressed.
They got popped, and they found out. But, you know, same thing with Heat. Those cats up in, you know, L.A. Remember? in Los Angeles, and there was a big gunfight, and LAPD had no idea how to handle it. Mm-hmm. They actually were going to gun stores and I forget what they call it, dude, but they basically, you know, under the name of law or something, they were taking the guns out because those guys, you know, they were dealing with automatics, high capacity magazines. They were fully armored, and pretty much the LAPD was getting spanked. You know, it was a bank job that took a left, but they were prepared for it. Mm-hmm. And after that whole incident, it came down to the point that they got that idea from Heat. You know?
Yeah.
Because you watch Heat and, you know, Val Kilmer and Robert De Niro, all those cats are spanking the shit out of fucking LAPD, dude. Mm-hmm. You know, so you think of society right now, man. You know, society, you know, you got a lot of cats out there that they mimic these movies. They mimic this, and, you know, and Hollywood ain't stupid, dude. They listen to what the people are doing, what they see, what they feel, what they say, you know. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, dude, you know, when you look at the Purge and stuff like that, dude, you know, they were basically showing how we feel. Mm-hmm. But then again, when people see, when you expose somebody how they feel, you're like, they don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going with the Purge, with the whole series and the episodes. It's like, dude, all right, let it go, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, as much as society is, we hate one another, dude, we still love each other. So, you know, Hollywood is just trying to juice the shit out of it as much as they can until that well runs dry. And like you said, you're not feeling it. I'm not feeling it, bro. I wasn't even feeling like when the series was going to come out. You know, I was like, dude, let it go, dude. You know, mm-hmm. It was crazy in the beginning, but now it's just like, yeah, we get it, bro. You know, let it go, man. You know, it's a waste of film.
Yeah, I agree. The next bit of news, The Haunting of Hill House, which is a new show on Netflix, I guess has been renewed for a second season, but the Crane family arc that they've kind of established will be over, so these first bit of episodes will be one story, and the season 2 will be different, much like the USA's The Sinner. Each season is going to be a different story. So far, Haunting of Hill House has been well received by a bunch of critics and viewers alike, so I'm excited to see what they do next as a fresh story. In some more news, video game news actually, Red Dead Redemption 2, which is a popular Western game from a few years ago, Rockstar Games, who are infamous for releasing the GTA series for both PlayStation and Xbox One. So the second one, it will drop today. So go out and play it if you are a gamer. Go pick it up because it looks like a beautiful game, and I'm really into. You don't see Western games very much, so when you get that chance to kind of dive into that world, it's pretty fun. And Red Dead Redemption will be also have an online open world where you can go and do stuff with other people, so I'm really interested to see how that plays out. Go pick it up today. Moving on, A24 will release director of Hereditary's next film, which is said to be a Scandinavian folk horror film. This movie will be released in August of next year. So Ari Aster actually did he directed the film that we talked about last week, which is Hereditary. I don't know. Have you seen it yet?
What film is this? Hereditary?
Yeah. It just came out. It was in the theaters, and it just was released on Blu-ray maybe a month or two ago. It's pretty crazy. It's like a psychological horror film, basically like this descent into madness for this family. It's like a family drama doused in horror.
It's a Scandinavian movie made into an American movie.
Yeah, well, that was his previous. So Hereditary was his first film, and now he's working on his second movie.
Oh,
which is I don't think they released the name yet, but it's said to be set around. It's Scandinavian with folklore, I guess.
Okay,
which is pretty interesting. You know, this guy has some crazy vision, and yeah. That's all that we have, I guess, for the update for that for now.
Yeah, I wish I knew Scandinavian folklore. I know stories from the old world are pretty way out there. You know, pretty much all those stories from the old world has made our, you know, folklore and, you know, how we believe, how we see things, and especially coming from being Hispanic or Mexican, chupacabra, stuff like that. So
El Cucuy,
you know what I'm saying, La Llorona. So all these things, I guess, you know, it's I don't know. I don't even know the dude. I don't know the story. But like I said, you know, we'll see. I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move into our next segment, the Weekly Rex.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
All right, do you have anything? Have you watched anything recently that you want to talk about at all, or anything that you think our listeners would be interested in checking out at all?
I'm sorry to say no.
No?
I haven't seen anything. The only thing recently I've heard is basically Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Which I talked about, I actually recommended on our last episode.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. There's been so many stories about Michael Myers, and I don't know. You know, the only thing I can say is just basically with today's props and gore, you know, how to make things look real.
Yeah.
You know,
the set design.
but there's there's 20. What is there? At least 20 years with that movie, so you got a lot of young cats.
Well, 40 years.
Yeah, 40 years. Damn.
Yeah, 40 years of the franchise.
Well, I was 3 years old, dude. I didn't even know what. I was like, no shit. No, yeah, man. I don't know. I have no recommendations. Like I say, just whatever the young out there puts out. You know, put a lot of hype. You know.
Cool.
Let me check this out.
I have a few.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a couple. So I wanted to recommend the original Child's Play because it's from the director Tom Holland, who did the movie we're talking about tonight, Fright Night.
Yeah.
The original one, man, that's a fucking a surefire classic, dude.
Oh, for sure, dude. It was definitely. It was good. The Chucky and for sure. I remember watching it, dude. You know,
it's fucking it's bananas for the time that it came out. It was perfect because there was it was kind of like Hollywood's answer to right before Chucky, there was this kind of resurgence of the slasher film, but it wasn't just slasher like Halloween and stuff. It was these kind of very B movie, very kind of nasty and mean-spirited films, right? So for that time, horror was kind of like a dirty word in a sense, and Chucky came right after that and put horror into this kind of different body where, you know, the media and all these people couldn't really attack the filmmakers because it was something that you could that wasn't necessarily based in realism, you know what I mean? The way that the original Maniac was, where this guy's just going around murdering women and collecting their scalps and stuff. You know, it was a
platform for inanimate objects being scary. You know, because.
Or the fact that the you know, this kid's toy.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, the possession and
is against him because, you know, we've all go through that stage of life where toys mean everything to us.
Oh yeah, I remember growing up with the Smurfs being possessed. I remember growing up with the Cabbage Patch dolls being possessed and killing people, and you know, it basically, you know, it captured the minds of America because like what do you call it, like a folklore or urban legend.
Yeah.
It definitely, they marketed that and it did well.
I'm sure they had no idea that it was going to be that Chucky was going to be such an iconic character, because he sits up there with everyone. You know what I mean? Right next.
Well, yeah, because it you remember the commercials with